And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Facebook. Welcome to BeLive in 5. We brought a week on this page as either a participant. We have broadcast me for those who wish to broadcast and for those who wish to improve their skills. On BeLive TV is also a personal mentoring mind for you. This episode of BeLive in 5 is brought to you by Steven Healey and Bridgetti and sponsored by BeLive TV. And the show, everyone. Today, Steven is unable to join us, but we do. My guest is Rafiq. And Rafiq is also known as WebAddict. He taught himself how to publish his own .com site with a bit of help from his friends and in digital media ever since. In 2005, he was a finalist in the National Innovation Competition in South Africa and was awarded the top ICT Youth Innovator in Africa a few years later. So let me bring on my guest. Welcome to the broadcast, Rafiq.
Hi. Good evening, world. Hi, how are you guys doing?
Great to have you on the broadcast. Rafiq, tell us, I'm intrigued by why you were nicknamed, or why are you AKA WebAddict? What is that all about? And welcome everyone else who's joined us live. Karinda, I can see you there. Tish, I can see you there. Welcome to the broadcast. If anyone else wants to join us a bit later, let me know in the comments and I will be happy to send you the link to join us live. Rafiq, tell us a bit, what is WebAddict all about?
Well, WebAddict started out back in 2005 as just a place I could leave notes. It is a WordPress blog. And after years and months of speaking to my peers and superiors about ideas about technology and mobile and how the impact it would have on the world, they were usually just met on deaf ears and people looking at me like, but why do you care about those things? So WebAddict, the name sprung up by accident because I used to blog about web applications, design, development, and innovation in Cape Town, and it's an acronym for addict. So that's how WebAddict was born. Over the years, it's evolved to a mainly mobile and it's still tech focused, but it mainly focuses on mobile and my specialty, which is search engine optimization. So for the past 13 years, I've been regularly publishing content on webaddict.co.za about the topics I feel are going to have an impact on our lives, not just today, but tomorrow as well.
So that sounds quite exciting. I mean, and I believe that WebAddict was also selected as 100 in the TED Fellows program, which is a global network for 453 trailblazers. How did that come about?
I was actually blogging when that happened one day. My business partner back in 2017 and we were working out of a garage in Goodwood here in Cape Town. And one night I was sitting at a desktop computer, busy writing a blog post, and I had a little live chat on the blog where people could interact with me in real time. And a little message popped up saying, "Hi Rafiq, do you know the TED Global is happening in Arusha, Tanzania this year?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been following TED Talks for a while, but I don't have thousands of dollars to attend." And then the next message was from this anonymous user, "Do you know there's a fellowship available?" And there was a little link to apply for fellowship. I clicked and immediately filled it in, and a few weeks later was selected as, or got the invite to attend TED Global in Arusha back in 2007. It was called Africa the Next Chapter, I believe. And yeah, my life has changed ever since.
Jay, and welcome Tish, and welcome David. glad that you were able to join us. And then the other thing I'd like to know a little bit more about is you are also an SEO expert. So for anyone watching the show play, what that is about. First of all, just explain what SEO is about for those who don't know.
Um, in layman's terms, search engine optimization is what it takes to get websites ranking on the first page of Google. When you search for a product or service, the websites that Google lists there don't just happen by accident. There are many different algorithms and artificial intelligence involved that Google determines on what sites are most relevant. And it's my job as an SEO specialist to understand how those algorithms work and how they apply to the products and services that my clients and my personal website offers. I got interested in SEO because I started out as a web developer, and it's great. It's one thing to build a website, but then, like if you remember in that movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. That is not the case when it comes to building any website. So my friends and I built a website while we were still studying. It was called idrive.co.za, and they tasked me with figuring out how to get onto the front page of Google. I then discovered the wonderful world of SEO, and I've been addicted to figuring out what Google does and what Google is all about and what makes Google tick, and therefore applying that to the websites that I used to build and the sites I consult and the companies I consult to today and assist them getting the best rankings in Google organically. These do not include the paid ads you see on the top and on the side because that costs a lot of money. My focus is on the natural rankings that Google's algorithms determine how to get you to or what gets you to the front page. Because they say that the best place to bury a dead body is on the second page of Google results because no one ever looks there. And that is particularly true with search engine optimization in no matter what industry they're involved in. So my job is to help my clients get to the front page. Because if they aren't there, they don't get the business, and it has a direct impact on the bottom line. If you look at your web statistics like Google Analytics, and at least 30% of your traffic is not coming from Google Organic, you may be losing lots of profit or lots of revenue.
So can you tell us about, so who are some of your clients? Are you able to tell us?
I'm not sure allowed to. I've signed so many NDAs in my life. I'm not sure allowed to mention who my clients are at the moment. But in the past, I've spent 5 years working in a R&D and mergers and acquisitions department at Naspers, or MIH Internet Africa. And some of the sites that South African viewers will be familiar with are like PriceCheck, the old Kalahari, the list goes on, like over the 24.com sites. I've consulted to many newspapers and magazines owned by Media 24, and yeah, like the list goes on. If you go and look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll see all the companies I have been involved with. Unfortunately, I can't talk about my current clients, but yeah, the list is endless, and I've been fortunate enough to work with some of the smartest people in the industry.
So when it comes to SEO work, are you still taking on new clients or kind of?
At the moment, yes, I've actually partnered up with a few senior SEO professionals, and we still do consulting work. I'm working with about 4 or 5 clients at the moment, and like I said, I can't mention my current clients. My NDAs do not allow. But yeah, you can have a look at my LinkedIn and see who I've worked with and worked for.
That's fine. Can I ask Tishan, RJ, and Corinda, can any of you tell me if the sound is okay? I'm not sure whether my earphones are a problem, in which case I will try and switch them quickly. But let me know coming through okay from both myself and from Rafiq. If you could let me know in the comments, please. Rafiq, what's my sound coming like to you?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I have a funny suspicion. Okay, RJ says the sound is not coming through well from your side. Yeah.
Okay, it might be this microphone. When you tested it earlier, it seemed to work fine.
It was fine earlier, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So RJ says it's okay. I wasn't too sure whether it's possibly my earphones or whether it's your microphone. So see, do you have another headset?
I do. I just need to find it. 1 moment, please.
Okay, sure. I'll take you off screen for a moment while you find it.
Can you give me 2 minutes? I'll just go get those.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Just say when.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of these sound things do happen sometimes. That's just life. How is everyone? Oh, hi, Gospel. You saying no sound is not great when your guest speaks. Okay, so it definitely is coming from Rafiq's microphone. It's weird, I mean, before you go live, you always do a test and everything's fine. But I guess that's just the nature of going live. We didn't have an issue when we tested. In fact, we tested and everything worked just fine. But one of those things, it looks like Rafiq is back and he's got a new headset. So let me invite him back into the broadcast. Gospel, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, can you give me 2 more minutes? I just need to connect the new headset.
Okay, it's still sounding, the sound is still coming through muffled somehow. Can any of you tell us, is the sound still not before we carry on?
Can you give me 2 more minutes and then I'll just connect the new
Sure.
headset? Thanks.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, well, tech issues do happen from time to time. It's one of those things. Hi, Gospel. Okay. I thought I'd lost everyone for a minute there because my internet has also been a bit dicey. But on the good news side, finally today, fiber cables were laid in my block. So I am pretty excited that according to the guys who who laid the cables, things will be fine. RJ says might just be okay. Yeah, I can ask him to do that as well. Definitely. Refreshing always solves many problems. It seems though he's tried 2 different headsets. So let's see how it goes when he comes back. Like he is trying to connect. So just give us a second, and he will be back. So the good news that happened this week is that we are now over 7,000 BeLivers in the group, and that is absolutely fantastic. It just shows how many people are using BeLive. I really actually don't even know what the total figure is for BeLive users, but that is how many people are actually in the group. Okay, Rafiq is back.
Can you hear me?
Let me just. Yes, that sounds pretty good.
Okay, I didn't want to use the fancy headphones, but I guess I have to. Thank you, Studio Regent.
No, that sounds really good. Can everyone else hear Rafiq now? Because to me his sound is clear now. Can anyone else? There we go. RJ says perfection.
Perfect. You can get these in Sweden.
Great stuff. No, I'm so
Yeah.
pleased you sorted that out.
One of the perks of having a technology blog.
Yeah.
One of the perks of having a technology blog is a lot of tech companies send you products all the time, and these headphones, they're pretty awesome. But I just didn't want to use them because they're kind of big, but they work really well. Thank you, Studio.
The sound is great.
Awesome.
Awesome advert for them. You know, a lot of people who live stream often want to know what are good microphones, what are good headsets. So anyone listening to this broadcast now can actually get the result. They can hear what it's like. So yeah, Gospel's also saying good sound. So that's a great advert for that headset. Maybe what we can do afterwards is
actually,
just post a link where people can get us.
There is a link on WebAddict, and with I think a 20% discount code if they want one. So you can go to webaddict.co.za and just search for headphones, and you'll see the link there. Like, this was totally unplanned. I'm sorry about this.
And they get a 20% discount.
Yeah, I'll find the link for you.
Okay, that's awesome. That sounds great.
So sorry, it's 15% off.
It's 15% off. Okay, yeah. Correction there. It's 15% off. Well, it's still a discount.
Yeah, wait. I'll send you the link.
Okay, great. So SEO is still your first love?
It is, yes, but I have now become sucked into the world of cryptocurrency with a new idea that I just came up with about 2-3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in May that I had this year to simplify cryptocurrency payments, or how to receive cryptocurrency payments, because currently when you want to pay anyone with Bitcoin, you need a really long string of numbers and characters and digits called looks like a hash key. But yeah, it sounds like I'm speaking geek now. And what I kind of figured out was a way to simplify receiving Bitcoin cryptocurrency with a simple URL that contains a name you remember, and that's your Twitter name or your mobile phone number. So I launched jfgi.cc. You can have a look at www.jfgi.cc, or at Twitter it's at jfgi, and jfgi stands for just for getting it .cryptocurrency. Just for getting it, just for giving it, just for gaining it, just for gathering it, and just for grasping it. And those are the 5 pillars of JFGI. For giving it, if you want to give it to a specific charity who is accepting donations via Bitcoin, they can create a JFGI account for free by just following JFGI on Twitter. If you want to get it and you're just a user, like I demonstrated to you earlier when we were on the call, you can simply follow the JFGI account. I believe we are 2 or 3 away from 100 users since launching it a few weeks, or we're still in alpha mode, i.e. we're busy testing out the concept. But there are over 100 or nearly 100 users using the JFGI accounts all over the world, from France to the US, South Africa, South America, Nigeria. I've checked the statistics, and over 20 countries have visited the JFGI website since May. And it was just a little small idea, but it seems to work very well. The 90-something users have JFGI links have been clicked on over 10,000 times already.
That's quite phenomenal in a short space of time.
Yeah.
To anyone watching, if any one of you would like to jump on and join us, please let me know, and I will send you the link to join us on screen. So please feel welcome to join us on screen. And how long have you been doing this? Did you say, Rafiq?
Well, I've been sick for the past 2 months, so I've been in bed and spending time at my mom's place in Wellington for most of the time. But I've just been active on Twitter at the JFGI account, just sharing short clips and videos and even animated GIFs about how I see the idea of easily transferring Bitcoin from one user to another can be. So if you follow along on JFGI, I've also created a YouTube playlist because I know like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is just a whole lot to geek and foreign to most of us. And one of the objectives of JFGI is not just to simplify the process of transferring or sending Bitcoin from one user to another, it's also to educate people about what Bitcoin really is and the potential it holds. So if you'd like, I can share that playlist with you. It contains quite a few videos on YouTube on why and how Bitcoin works and the impact it's going to have, not just on us as ordinary individuals, but on society as a whole. There's also a section dedicated to Bitcoin on webaddict.co.za, where you're able to follow along on the journey I've taken since first discovering or learning about Bitcoin while doing research at Stellenbosch University at the MIH Media Lab in about 2010. But back then, you basically needed a computer science degree to set up and use Bitcoin yourself. Like I tried it on my laptop and I was like, oh wait, no, I'm not a developer anymore. I don't have time for all of this. And I just left it. And then about 3 years later, one of my buddies from IRC days back in 1999, this is now, wow, 12, 13 years later, he sent me an email and said, you've got to get into this Bitcoin thing. And I was like, okay. I set up a wallet. I started mining some on my laptop, but I just heated up my Mac. And I was like, no, that's only worth a few cents. It's a waste of time. And then one evening in, I think just over a year ago, in December 2016, it seems like such a short time ago, but yeah, it was like December 2016. While watching YouTube videos, like I subscribed to the TED Talks channel, and there were a few videos published about Bitcoin, and I was like, hang on, like I remember this from a few years back. Like, let's see what it's all about. And then discovered that it's become a lot more user-friendly, but user-friendly enough for someone who spends almost all their time on the internet to understand, not so much so every man on the street, if you know what I mean, not for average Joe. And I started researching almost daily, watching videos and reading articles and following really interesting people on Twitter who are quite clued up about cryptocurrency, and started joining different groups in WhatsApp and on Telegram just to learn about the technology. I bought my first Bitcoin, I believe, in, what was it, May 2017, and that was after doing 6 months of nearly daily research and subscribing to different authors and publishers on YouTube and blogs and in various chat rooms and forums. And everybody has seen the news or heard the news about how the price climbed dramatically into December 2017. And I was lucky enough to ride that wave up, and also unlucky enough to ride the wave down now in this year. So I made some money and then lost also a lot of money. But the potential the technology has to change the way we transact, the way we do business, the way the economy works is so huge. It's like, say 20 years ago, I'd be telling you, you got to get an email address. We're not going to have to, we don't have to use the post office anymore. Get an email, go to hotmail.com or go to Yahoo and get an email address. That is how I feel about Bitcoin today. You've got to go to Luno or Green Address or whatever Bitcoin. In South Africa, Luno is quite popular because it's very easy to use. You've got to get a Bitcoin address just to learn how the technology works. I'm not saying spend any money, but figure out how it works, because in the next few years, what email did to the post office, what YouTube did to YouTube and Netflix is doing to MultiChoice and DSTV, Bitcoin is going to do to the financial system, and that's my personal opinion. In some sectors, we see it happening already, and traditional media I feel, is just fighting back tooth and nail. Sorry, my phone just made this weird sound. I hope you didn't hear that.
No, we didn't hear.
Okay. But I was saying,
guess,
yeah, it's a
that's new.
Yeah, it's a fundamental shift in the way we think about the exchange of value, not just money, not just in monetary terms. And you'll notice I haven't mentioned what the price of Bitcoin is that much. It's not going to be relevant for much longer, because I feel Bitcoin is going to swallow up every financial service we can imagine and that we use every day. And it has some of us scared, but like the internet, like email was the internet for posts, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is the internet of money. And I will share the YouTube video playlist that explains all of this, because I'm not an expert. I'm just a web addict, remember? So I love the web, and I wouldn't consider myself an expert, but I like if I believe in something, I try and understand it, and I ask as many smart people I know and can find the right and sometimes wrong questions. But there are a lot of experts out there. You just need to know who to turn to for the right advice.
No, I guess that is 100% on the money. I mean, I remember, technology fast. It's almost scary. There's constantly the next new thing. But sometimes is so revolutionary that it changes the way we do things or think. I haven't investigated Bitcoin myself. Need to look at it, and thank you for joining us as well.
Yeah, all I can say is it's not too late, because only about 1%, 1 or 2% of the entire world's population actually knows what Bitcoin is. So we're still in the very early adopter phase, but in a year or two, that's not going to be the case anymore. Yes, you've heard the name, but have you thought about how it's going to impact what you do, how you earn money, how you spend money, how you plan for your financial future? Because, like it or not, technology is going to disrupt all those industries. And JFGI.cc is just one piece of a humongous puzzle that is being built by not just one or two geeks in the basements, but hundreds of thousands of individuals all over the world at large multinational corporations and in little garages in the middle of nowhere. Everybody's working on trying to solve the same problem, and eventually, when the masses come, yeah, like how often do you go to the post office today still? Like how often do you read a newspaper? It's the same thing is going to happen to finance and is happening and has been happening since 2009 when Bitcoin was invented.
The other thing you've used quite effectively over the years is as a technology is Twitter.
Yes, Twitter
How
has been.
how has that worked for you?
I see Twitter is where you find what will be headline news and what will be on the TV channels tomorrow. So a few years ago when I started using Twitter, and I still used to drive to work, and you'd see the newspaper article or headlines up on the street post. And I'm like, why do all these things seem so familiar? And like, you'd see a headline in a newspaper, and you're like, but this is all so familiar. And like, oh yes, I read about it on Twitter yesterday. So to me, Twitter is where news breaks first and then spreads around the whole world through retweets and comments and replies. And you'll notice that every single celebrity, every single news organization is using Twitter. And in 2008, 2007, sorry, Carte Blanche actually followed me around for a couple of days, and they made a show about Web 2.0, or they had a segment about Web 2.0, which you can also find on my YouTube channel. And if you watch closely, you'll notice that I'm actually using Twitter, and I have been using Twitter every day of my life. It's become so much part of a habit. It's like there's not a day goes by that I don't say "Good morning, world" on Twitter. That's how a big part of my life it is. I only have a few thousand followers, but to me, those are some of the smartest and sharpest minds in topics that I am extremely passionate about or I want to learn more about. And before people write articles, before they publish anything on YouTube, they'll share things on Twitter and try and get feedback. It's one of the reasons that I've used Twitter to launch JFGI, and it's myself and my partner in JFGI is based in Nigeria. He's the developer, but I've created a little community called the JFGI 100, which you are also part of. You are number 97, ma'am. And everybody is contributing in some way or another. If it's not just an idea or a retweet or a suggestion, to develop Just Forgiving it into a complete product that can be used by every man on the street who wants to send Bitcoin to another person. Because now if any of the listeners have a Bitcoin wallet on their phones and wanted to send you a donation for your show, for example, something similar to Patreon, they could just go to jfgi.cc/Bridgetti. I'm sorry, I have a problem pronouncing your name, but Bridgetti, and their Bitcoin wallet would open on their phone with your Bitcoin address, or it's completed, and they'll just be able to send it to you without any middleman. That's another use case, but like it's not, and it'll be there within the next few minutes. It won't take 24 hours like a bank account, and like other platforms. No, there will be no commission charge. There's just a small processing fee, like every single Bitcoin transaction out there that the miners charge. But it's something like 0.5% compared to a credit card that charges 3%, for example, or one of those platforms that allow you to crowdsource funds that charge bigger percentages. So
the thing that excites me, the thing that excites me about this technology is that if there are any live streamers who want to monetize their broadcasts and are having difficulty in doing that, this is a straightforward and easy way to monetize your live streams, to get paid for your live streams and the value that you offer to your audience. Because you said it's as easy as somebody having a URL, and if they log into apps, they simply put in your URL for your Bitcoin address, and it's done. There's no logging in, or especially they don't need to know what your account number is or anything like that.
Yeah, like I demonstrated earlier when we were testing the call, like creating a Bitcoin wallet with Luna was just about signing in with your email address and then creating a wallet. But the wallet, like as you noticed, was a very long number of characters and digits, which is quite confusing. So what JFGI does is it takes that long number and converts it into your Twitter username or your mobile phone number. So like usually what happens if you are a Bitcoin user, you'll copy paste that long string of address to receive Bitcoin multiple times over and over and over and said, hey, I'd like to donate to your live stream. What's your Bitcoin address? They'd either give a QR code or a long string of numbers. And who's got time to open the barcode scanner app, point it to the screen, and then take a snap when they can just click on the link on their mobile phone and it automatically opens your Bitcoin app on your phone. And all you basically do is click a link into the amount you want to send and then hit send. It's 3 steps instead of many more. Yes, Franco, I do follow the Kaiser report. I'm actually in Max and Stacy's Telegram channel. Franco just asked if I follow the Kaiser report.
That's Jason, yeah.
Yeah, I've been following the Kaiser report since about 2008 on Russia Today.
Okay, so for any of us like myself who don't report, what is that?
It's just an economic show on the RT channel. You can find it on DSTV, I believe, or you can search for RT on YouTube. And I believe Max and Stacy, they're the hosts. Max Kaiser and Stacy Herbert are the hosts of the Kaiser Report on RT on a weekly basis. That's really awesome.
Okay.
I used to produce the show. That's brilliant.
Awesome, Jason.
That's great to know. So hi Jason, I'd like to invite you to follow JFGI, and you can see what it's all about on Twitter at JFGI. Just for giving it, just for getting it, just for gaining it, just for growing it, and just for grasping it. Our main aim is to reduce the friction when it comes to sending Bitcoin from person to person or charity or large organization or small mom and pop shop. Just one click and you can send.
I like that. You know, there's a lot of charities that, especially the smaller charities, serve a large community. The charities that serve people in underprivileged communities that are not well known, they struggle to get funding, and so anything that'll help them at receiving funds.
Yeah, what happened was one of the first the JFG, I call them the JFGI 100, but two of them are actually charities. One is a Muslim school here in Cape Town, and they offer free classes. And so I spoke to the founder of the school and said, hey, we can set you up a simple URL so you can raise funds in Bitcoin. 4 hours later, he messaged me on WhatsApp and asked me if I sent a test transaction. Because I tweeted about it, someone actually sent them a donation. There is another Twitter or another charity in the United States and Indonesia who are using JFGI to raise funds and correct donations via Bitcoin for building schools and helping orphan children in Indonesia as well. So this just happened organically with a few tweets, a few hundred tweets from the JFGI account and from my personal Twitter account, Rafiq.
Wow, that is phenomenal. I mean, the turnaround time, and the setup was pretty easy because you walked me through the steps earlier when I set up the account. It
Yes.
literally took all of 5 minutes.
Correct. That is correct. It just takes 5 minutes. You download a Bitcoin wallet, and there are hundreds different available in all different countries for all currencies. And JFGI works with any wallet on any platform, be it Android or iOS or a Windows phone or a BlackBerry. If it follows the internet standards that it should. I know on some iOS or Apple phones, it's still buggy and they complain about not recognizing the URL. But fortunately, most of the world, about 80% of the world use Android, and it just works. So we can just forget it when it comes to what our Bitcoin addresses are. You set it up once and it's yours and you're good to go. I have to say that a JFGI account will not be free forever. There's actually a business model behind it as well. So you're going to be paying a small fee to use it on an annual basis. But for your show viewers who are watching, when they follow JFGI, just make sure they DM BeLive and we will set them up with a free account.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that offer. I'm going to put you a bit in the hot seat. There's many people that feel intimidated by the idea of being live show like this because there's no perfection, there's no retakes, there's no get this, do that. It's live, it's raw, it's real.
Okay.
How have you found this experience? This is your first time in a live stream. What does it feel like? Does it feel intimidating?
Not at all. I'm actually having quite a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing this again. It feels kind of natural because I've been interacting with clients, colleagues, strangers on the internet for so many years for different reasons, for entertainment, for educational purposes. The TED Fellows program, we do regular mentoring sessions with thought leaders and industry experts around the world. So I'm quite accustomed to interacting with people via the web like this, even though we've not met in person. Just following your tweets and interacting with you and reading what you're about, because as you know, everybody Googles each other. Reading what you're about gave me an idea of the type of show this could be and the conversation we had during the test. And I feel very comfortable speaking like this. I have no problem at all.
The way I normally try and explain it to people, I try and explain to people. Carry on.
I was going to say, face the fear and the fear disappears. I'm not afraid of speaking to anybody.
Absolutely. I try and explain to people that it's very much like doing a Skype call or a Google Hangout with someone, except someone on Skype or on Google Hangouts, but other people are viewing your conversation and they can participate in the conversation.
Yeah,
That's basically how I would.
I'm actually enjoying seeing some of my friends pop up on the reactions and even the strangers. Hi. Because I believe the ideas that I'm sharing are worth spreading. So why do I have to be ashamed about it if I believe in something and I'm passionate about it? It makes no sense to me. Why be afraid? That's what the technology enables us to connect with like-minded individuals, no matter where they are around the world, and we can bring about real change in not just our personal lives, but in the great community as well. By doing
So
something
Gospel's
simple.
got a question here. Gospel says, so how do you get an account? I found it on Twitter, but
okay, how you get an account is, hi Gospel. How you get an account is you follow it on Twitter, and then yes, I'll follow you back. Right now it's not automated, but there will be a bot pretty soon that will follow you back immediately, and then you send it your Bitcoin address, and within a few minutes it will create a JFGI account for you. So it happens, you don't even have to go to the JFGI website. You can just follow it on Twitter and everything happens via direct message.
So the process is pretty easy.
The process is as simple as an instant message chat. If you can copy paste, if you can follow someone on Twitter, i.e. JFGI, and you can copy paste your Bitcoin wallet address from your Bitcoin app into Twitter, that's all you need. It's 3 steps. Follow JFGI, direct message your Bitcoin wallet address that you can receive Bitcoin at. And step 3 is just wait for a response from JFGI. I'm actually going to check the Twitter right now. So if you're following, I don't see Gospel following just yet, unless she has a different Twitter username. Ron and Sandy, Lee, 5-minute video reveals how you can instantly access 40 marketing courses. I'm following them now. So Gospel, please follow JFGI and I'll follow right back.
Okay, so that is JFGI. Yeah, got it. On Twitter.
Yeah, twitter.com/JFGI. Just for giving it, just for getting it, just for gaining it, just for growing it, just for grasping it.
Okay, there we go.
And I have
so that's fairly simple.
Yeah, 3 steps, and you can receive Bitcoin without having to remember your long, complicated address again. Like, yes, there are those more conservative. Okay, Gospel is following, and I'm following right back. Got it. So if you can direct message me your Bitcoin address, I'll set you up right away. Gospel OEE. Gotcha. Thank you very much for the follow.
I also want to ask you, that's your, the open hand sign is one of your trademarks. What is that about?
If you go to Emojipedia and search for that sign, it's just a sign of openness, and it's what I see Bitcoin is about. There are no more closed walled gardens that only allow you to transact in certain times, and the bank is only open from like 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock. And then if a debit order happens on a Saturday, you can't get hold of anybody because the banks are all closed early and there are bank holidays when the banks aren't open. With Bitcoin, everything is open and there are no borders, there are no restrictions. on certain wallets, you don't even have to identify yourself to use the service. So you can be completely anonymous when using Bitcoin. It's open to everybody anywhere in the world. It makes the transfer of value borderless and unrestricted, and it's almost free compared to the traditional services we offer. And the other reason for the sign is openness to learning and openness to change, because the only constant in the world is change. And if we don't adapt to change and aren't open to it, we're going to get stuck and left behind while the world just continues going.
And one of the reasons
also,
why we love...
One more thing, the W is also for WordPress, i.e. the blogging platform I use, because that is one of the tools that has changed publishing for everybody tremendously. I've been using it since 2005, and about 20% of the world's websites are now powered by WordPress.
Right. And one of the reasons that we love live streaming so much is because it's a great way to let people know that you're open for business.
Yes.
And you can reach not just a local audience very quickly, but an international audience in a very short space of time by live streaming. I want to tell you a story. I lived in the northern suburbs in Cape Town for many, many years. And it turns out I met someone through live streaming who's now a good friend, who lives in Hawaii, which is 12 hours difference from where I am, from where we are.
Yeah.
And through her, I met someone who also lives in the northern suburbs, where I lived for many years, and that I'd never met here in Cape Town. But she introduced the two of us through live streaming. I mean,
that's amazing.
That's just
that's
one
really
example
awesome.
of how amazing it is that you can connect with people from all over the world in a very, very short space of time.
I'm looking at the reactions.
People
I'm looking at the reactions, and two of the people, one is from the UK and another from Singapore, because I've known them. They're some of my friends. So they're watching right now, and they're from two different countries and in totally different time zones, but they are in Cape Town right now, so that's awesome. But technology really allows you to connect with like-minded individuals around the world, and especially if you are working in a very niche industry like SEO. If you're working in a very niche industry like SEO, there aren't many peers you can connect with locally. And if there are, I'm having a problem with my laptop. And if there are, you usually have to travel very far and wide to meet up with them, and we all have busy schedules. But with live streaming, because it's sometimes recorded, we can just watch it at our own time and our own pace. Like, for example, with the Bitcoin videos that I spoke about earlier, there are certain people who are based in Hawaii, certain people are based in Thailand, certain people in the UK, certain people on the East Coast of the US, and they publish their broadcasts at their time when they're comfortable. But once a day, if you subscribe to their channels, you can catch up with all the different information and all the different news about the same topic, but from all different perspectives of people with from different walks of life, to get like a more holistic view of the news or about information that's important to you, and it's not dictated by one or two editors in a broadcast room somewhere that you never know or never see. Let me just get you.
So that's one of the.
Yeah, I'm just going to get the playlist.
That's one of the things that
you can share.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the things that I always share with people when it comes to live streaming. People may say, well, there's so many people that does XYZ in my industry, so I don't, why should I live stream? So here's an analogy that that someone used the other day, and I told her I'm going to share this because I really like the way she said, you know, hundreds and thousands of hairdressers out there, of hair salons. But that will never stop anyone else from opening up a hair salon or becoming a hairdresser, because you will go to someone that you resonate with. There can be thousands of hair salons, but you will go to the person that you connect with. And that all the hair salons do the same. They cut hair, they color hair, they do all kinds of things. And even though they all do the same thing, they all stay. You will find someone that resonates with the way you are, with your personality, with the way that you present yourself. So never be scared to put yourself out there. Never be scared to say, hey, I'm open for business. Connect with me. We've reached the top of the hour. So for anyone who doesn't know what we do at BeLive in 5, we have 5 weekly shows. On a Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, there is BeLive Weekly with Owen Video. On a Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, there's Best of BeLive with Ross and Rachel. On a Wednesday Eastern, there's Camera Confidence with Molly Mahoney. And on a Thursday is Live Positive with Jeff Adams. And from BeLive in 5, we have 5 shows per week, every single day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so I'd like to invite you back again. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us live today. Steven will be back next week. He was away this weekend, and I'm sure he's having fun, whatever he is doing for this weekend. What are you doing this weekend, Rafiq? Do you have anything exciting happening?
I am not really. I've got a ton of work to do, and the way JFGI has grown, it's grown by 50% in the past 3 days. And if we look at the Fibonacci ratio of growth, it's probably going to grow by another 50% in the next few days. So it should keep me busy for quite a while this weekend. And I've also found that my current messaging resonates mainly with people in Europe and the States, so Eastern time zone. So late at night when they're up, like my Twitter mentions come alive. But fortunately, I have a senior PR professional that's going to assist with writing press releases for everyone, not just other web addicts out there who are part of #TeamNoSleep. Yeah,
it was fantastic having you as a guest today. Thank you for joining us.
And this was a great experience for me too. Thank you so much. My first live stream, and I look forward to doing this again sometime in the future.
Great stuff. Thank you everyone for watching us live, and thank you everyone who's watching the replay. As I said, Steven will be back again next month. So you can find me on 5, you can find me on Bridgetti.live, you can find me on the Cape Town Water Crisis, and you can find me on Twitter as Cape Town Water Crisis or Bridgetti, and you can find me on Facebook as Bridgetti or Cape Town Water Crisis. Thanks everyone. Wishing you all an awesome, awesome weekend ahead. And we'll see you again next week. So from us, it's goodbye for now.
Thank you.